Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, or joining me today, I should say. My name's Brian Turpak. I'm the owner of Steelworks Strength Systems, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the indoor strength programming that I'm offering. This is obviously comes with a special discount for members of the Valor Track Club. So let's talk about what this program is like. Before we get to that, though, just a little bit about me. In another lifetime ago, I competed in cross country and track and field at Central Michigan University from 1998 to 2003, primarily looking at more middle distance events, 8K, 10K in college and high school. I was more of a 400 to a miler. And then I also coach cross country and track at a high school I used to teach at in Virginia, all the way back in 2004 and 2007. Between that time and now, I have been the owner of Steelworks Strength Systems. We started in 2012, and we've primarily focused on small group training, but also do personal training, one-on-one, and remote coaching. We use everything from Olympic style weightlifting, kettlebells, med balls, dumbbells, calisthenics, and even primal movement patterns to help our clients reach our goals. In terms of certifications, I am a certified strength and conditioning specialist through the NSCA, Precision Nutrition Master Health Coach, and also Neurokinetic Therapy Level 1 certified. Um, you know, Throughout this entire journey of athletics and coaching, there's been some lessons that I have learned along the way that hopefully my experience can help show you how to not make these same mistakes in your own personal fitness journey. The biggest one, ignore your body at your own peril. Back in college, I ran myself into the ground, didn't listen to my body, believed that more was better, that faster was better, and that if I just trained hard enough and harder than the next person, I would eventually reach my goals. And that was quite the opposite. Ended up getting mono, and basically disillusioned with the sport. And so yeah, that was the biggest lesson. Um, from a running perspective, the body has a number of passive energy systems waiting to be exploited. We focus a lot on energy system development, and we do focus in some cases on weight training, but there are a lot of other ways to help propel the body in running that don't involve any active muscular contraction. So in result, you end up running more efficient. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Also, effective weight training involves integration, not isolation. In other words, isolation movements are good, like dumbbell curls, but we want to focus more on integrating a number of joints in a number of different directions, to really see some good transfer of training from the weight room over to the road or the track or even the cross country field. I also learned how to fall in love with the process and not simply the result. Um, Learning to value every day as an opportunity to experience something new and get to learn something more about myself eventually led me to savor those activities as opposed to simply the result. Because time and time again, once I would get to that result, I'd be like, well, now what? Right? So as an athlete and as a coach, I've become much more process oriented as opposed to goal oriented. So and also I'm more than just an athlete. I feel like people who identify and tie their identities to their athleticism, what happens when you get older, and what happens when your abilities start to disintegrate. I'm 43 years old, nowhere near as fast and as strong as I once was. And it took me a long time to help kind of disassociate that identity from who I actually am. And so throughout my coaching process, I really coach the emotional, psycho, social model of an athlete as we go through those things. So that's a little bit about me. So ask yourself, what are your goals, and even more importantly, why do those goals matter to you? And when you answer those particular questions, the path to get there becomes a little bit clearer. But speaking about goals, if you're a competitive runner, your goal is pretty simple. You want to go faster. Um, but not everyone is a competitive runner, and that's okay. I'm one of these people myself. If you're a recreational runner, your goal is to run longer, more frequently, and stay injury free so you can be healthy and happy and continue to do the things that you enjoy for years and years to come. Whether that's more running or actually having a more fulfilled life with your family, a more secure and healthy job, whatever it is. And there's two ways to get there, and it's kind of a combination of both of these. You want to either, if we take this idea of strength training and training in general, and we take the human body and metamorphosize it into a car, a car with a stronger engine and a stronger chassis will ultimately be able to drive faster and further. Building the engine, that's increasing the body's ability to move oxygen throughout the muscles, utilize appropriate fuel sources, and obviously clear waste products from all kinds of biochemical reactions. And we can do that by increasing our volume and frequency of easy running, and also appropriately timing the sequence of training intensities throughout our training cycle. On the other end of the spectrum, building the chassis, that means the strengthening muscles, tendons, ligaments, fascial systems, the connective stuff that allows our bones and joints to kind of move and allow our body to move through space. So some things that help do that: max velocity running, so sprinting, hill sprints, which aren't necessarily as taxing as max velocity running, plyometrics, so like series of bounds, hops, skips, jumps with reactive types of characteristics to them. And then, of course, weight training, building muscles, building bone density. One thing specifically for runners that's really important to consider is that our body is a system of springs, cables, and hydraulic pumps that when you can train them effectively, you're going to be able to capture and redirect passive energy. What is passive energy? Basically, it's energy that allows you to move forward without having to actually spend energy through muscular contractions. So your body can absorb force and redirect it, again, without any kind of energy waste. The other aspect of building the chassis is understanding that rotation is a huge driver of human locomotion. The shoulders, the spine, the hips, they all undulate and oscillate. So not only do they go up and down, but there's also kind of like this rotation between the hips and the shoulders. And of course, the spine can bend back and forth if you subscribe to the idea of the spinal engine theory, that the flexion in lateral side to side motions can also help drive the body and moving it forward. So rotational movements are incredibly important for runners. So who is this program built for? This program is for you if you want to reduce your weekly mileage, yet maintain your level of fitness. Properly programmed strength training can actually stimulate the aerobic system. And this is really more if like you've gotten to the point where you're running 50 miles a week or what have you, and you've reached kind of like this point where you have a family or you have a job and you just can't commit to that much more mileage every week. So strength training can reduce your amount of time that you train, but yet still maintain your level of fitness and actually, in some cases, improve your level of fitness directly related to running. You'll increase your durability. Obviously, getting stronger reduces your chances of injury. When your muscles are stronger, they can absorb more force, they can handle more stress. Your bones become stronger, obviously, from the loads applied to them. So that small micro bending helps increase density in them and allows you to then therefore train longer without getting hurt. Also, and this is really the real big piece to this whole entire program, you're going to improve your power and your efficiency. So stronger muscles and connective tissues will create joint stiffness. And it's this joint stiffness, it's this unyielding kind of capability that allows you to absorb force from the ground, but yet not let it completely just dissipate throughout your body. You're going to be able to hold it, store it, and redirect it. Okay. And then last but not least, boosting strength to use in other areas of your life besides running, carrying groceries, large logs, etc. Obviously, put in whatever you want to help you to be stronger and whatever you can do with that. So it becomes easier to basically live a little bit more. How this program works. So my programming philosophy is built around 4-week blocks of programming, and I'm all about doing more with less. So obviously your chosen activity is running. We don't need to be in the weight room 5 times, 6 times every day of the week. 3 days a week is plenty. And honestly, this program is built to be done within 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. Some of the things you'll see in this program some things you'll see, but won't be necessarily limited to plyometrics, i.e. reactive jumps, med ball training. That's talking about like slams or throws, barbell exercises. You could see everything from squats to rows or overhead presses, dumbbell lifts, and static holds. Excuse me, those are some of the movements that you might see. And we structure this program into 4-week blocks, each with kind of a different theme. So week 1, acquaint. We're trying to learn the movements. Strength isn't just the muscles getting bigger. It's also the brain-body connections that are being made. Because obviously, without neural input, your muscles won't fire. And without the necessary neural drive, the intensity of that contraction won't occur. So we have to become familiar with the movements. That's week 1. Week 2, we analyze. We've learned a little bit about how to do the movements. Now we're going to test ourselves out. We're going to push the intensity and the weights a little bit more. Not maximal, but just definitely kind of getting a feel for some heavier load. Week 3, we back off on the intensity. That's the acclimatization kind of week. So we have learned the movement, we've tried the movement out, and now in week 3, we're going to kind of stabilize ourselves. So we're not going to be going too crazy and heavy. Usually the weights during this period of time, the loads are all the same with each respective movements. We're not increasing weights across the sets. And then finally, week 4, we've spent the 3 weeks learning the movements. So motor control, coordination is all coming online with these new movements. And so now we acquire a new proficiency, a new level of strength. And so we get to test again what we've learned over those 3 weeks. So that's the breakdown of the programming structure. What is going to be included in Endura? Well, obviously you get 4 weeks of focused programming, and it changes every 4 weeks for the duration of your membership. You'll also have access to a repository of exercise videos showing you how to correctly perform each prescribed movement. There'll be a digital training log for you to record your results and training videos. There's going to be an actual Steelworks app that you can download on your phone, where you'll be able to log your results as you're training in real time. I'm also going to host a 2-time-a-month virtual town hall meeting where I'll be sharing some new information and topics for you. You'll also have a chance to ask me any questions or kind of clear up any indiscrepancies about the program in real time. And then, of course, we'll have a discussion board for you to share kind of your training experience. Again, ask some more questions, help support and motivate other people in the group. And if you wanted to share any kind of like fun local news about new restaurants or other cool social events popping up, by all means, share that there as well. So how does this program get priced? There's, for the first 10 people who sign up, obviously the deal is pretty sweet. $50 for every 4 weeks of training, and it's a 12-week commitment. That's the first 10 signups, and it goes up $25 every level. So second 10 signups it's for $75, third is $100, and then fourth is $125. And that's the price of the program going forward after all of these discounts have been used up. So the program begins Monday, March 4th. The purchase link is going to be here in the chat box, which I'm going to pop in here in a second. Where is that sucker? Bloop. Okay. And then where did I go? Uh-oh. Apparently this has not worked. 1 second. Fun times with Zoom. There's that right there. I will also let me go back to the sharing of the screen again, just so that I can share with you my email. Well, not sure what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, my name's Brian Turbeck again. Thank you so much for sitting through this brief little presentation. In case you didn't get my email, again, it's Brian, Brian, at steelworksstrength.com. Should you have any questions or you'd like to sign up. Thank you so much for your time.